Good evening. It's the next to last Friday before the Christmas weekend, and we get another shot at Big Blue. We let them get away with a tie last time. Can we get a win this time? Let's talk about that next. And you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. December 16th. It's our pregame live stream. We're doing it on a Friday tonight. Had some Christmas obligations last night with the kids, Christmas concerts. It's your boy Steve. That was Phil on the intro. Our boy Dev could not make it this evening. So Dev, we hope you're doing well. We'll catch you on the flip side. But
take that Pepto-Bismol, buddy.
Yeah. Episode 171 for us. We're calling this One Moe Gain. This is Giants versus Commanders 2.0. 2.0. We're coming off a tie 2 weeks ago. I kind of feel like it's not the same Giants team we saw 2 weeks ago, especially after that shellacking that they took from the Cowboys. It was so bad in the DC area that they turned the game off and turned it to the Seattle game. That's how bad it was. But
I mean, who wants to watch them anyway? But I said this after the tie. We took New York's best shot in that game, and we didn't counter with our best shot, and it was a tie. Should kind of tell you where I'm going, where my mind is right now on this coming game. We'll talk about that as it goes on.
Yeah, straight up. Let's say good evening to everyone in the chat here tonight. Already got some people going on. Terrence couldn't make it, said Green and Brothers won't be on tonight. I'll catch a show afterwards. Watching Christmas movies with the family. Have a great show. Go Birds. Because I like y'all. Hail. All right. We're going to convert you slowly, Terrence.
Hail.
We talked about Christmas movies last time. So it was a bye week last week. And then we proceeded to talk about a little bit of football. And then we did our top 5 Christmas songs, and then we did a little bit on movies during the barbershop. So go back, check those episodes out. 2 episodes back on the YouTube channel. We got our boy Yam in Japan checking in all the way around the world. Yam, we appreciate you. James Jones on Facebook says, okay, boys, let's beat them Giants. Let's do it. Ronnie White from Facebook. What's up, bro? Thanks for watching. Let's beat these Giants. Andrew Hopper from Facebook. Beat down this time. Let's go. Antonio Brown. The good Antonio Brown. HTTR. That's right.
The one not pulling his junk out on camera.
Tweaking in the end zone. Yam says, also get your butts over here to hit that YouTube like and subscribe button. And I'll post the YouTube in the chat. For those on Facebook, if you guys just jump over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, we would greatly, greatly appreciate that. All love, all love. Tia Holloway from Facebook, from Columbia, South Carolina. Yes, can we get that win? And everyone else in the chat, let us know where you're hailing from. I'm here. I'm currently here in Silver Spring. Phil, tell them where you're at.
I am deep in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia.
Down south. Down south.
Ain't that down south? I'm not. I'm in the country, but I'm not
the super south. Not the super south. Matt Coe, Facebook said, huge game. We got this. Hashtag take command. That's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming game. You know, we kind of already previewed the Giants before, but we're going to talk a little bit about some injuries. So we are a little bit on the mend here. We have St. Juice coming back for us, and then there's the Chase Young talk. We're hearing all kinds of information about Chase Young, his preparedness, his readiness. There's some videos about him dancing, got some pep in his step. I hope we see Chase Young. You know, I think it's the consensus, especially between Phil and I. 10 to 15 plays, Phil? That's what we're looking at.
I'm thinking, ease him in. If he feels good, just keep upping the snap count. 10 to 15 should be the minimum, but that he at least tries. But you get him 8 snaps or so in the first half, and he's like, Coach, I can go. Let him rip.
Let her rip, tater chip.
Giants aren't going to be prepared for that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. 10 to 15 snaps is all I care about. I just want to see him get in, knock the dust off, ease into it, little bit.
That would be the practical belief, and I'm usually a practical guy, but at the same time, I'd love for him to get out there and get like 2-3 sacks. And all these people who were using that word, he's a bust, just shut them up. I hate using that term. He's a bust. That's implying that he's like out here putting out like Albert Hainsworth level of effort. The dude didn't just tear his ACL, which is a bad enough injury as it is. He also damaged the patella. All right. So I'll tell you what. For everybody that says that he sucks and he's a bust, I got a baseball bat. Let me take it to your knee. And then I'm going to stand over you for the next year as you recover and tell you how much you suck. And we'll see how fair an assessment that is.
I've never had ACL, MCL. I've had a sprained MCL, and that was bad enough for me. And that was just a sprain, required nothing but some rest, some ice, a little bit of physical therapy, and I was good as new about 2.5 months later. Anyone in the chat, you guys ever tore your ACL or MCL or meniscus or combination, lack thereof? Sprain? Tell us about it.
I once had a torn meniscus and a sprained LCL, and the LCL hurt. The meniscus didn't hurt, but there was no stability. Like I'd put weight on that knee and it could go in any direction and I had no control over that. That took about 2 months. The tear in the meniscus was just short of needing surgery, but just good enough that they're like, no, take the weight off of it. So I went around with a cane and a knee brace and because I hate crutches. And did that for 2 months.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I had a townhouse. So I'd go up and down those steps, leaning hard on that rail, sometimes just climbing on all fours. Telling you, it's knees are nothing to mess with, man. But and like I said, if Chase had just had a simple ACL, he'd be back by now. That when you mess up the patella, when you damage the patella, that's the kneecap. All right. That's a tricky one to fix.
Right.
So I've been given a little more leeway. I would like to have seen him before now, but you know what? You got an extra 2 weeks. Elevate him.
Yeah.
Let him see what he can do. If he's out there dancing around, all the vibe says that he should be back this week.
Right.
So
here's a couple quick videos of Chase doing Chase things. Sorry, I'm not gonna bore you with the music, but it's just the team working out. This is John Keim's Twitter feed. Shout out to John Keim. See him dancing to Michael Jackson, doing the moves. He looks good. That's the thing. And so there's talk that he is just. It could be a mental thing. So I get it. I had full shoulder AC joint reconstruction, and it took me over a year to get back to normal. I never passed 135 on the bench just trying to get back to normal. And eventually I was like, all right, there's a point where you just have to do it. And it scared the Jesus out of me. And I eventually did it, but he looks pretty good. Like he's got a pep in his step. So
that first step is looking good. No hesitation on it.
Yeah.
That first step. And that's the big one. The first step is the one you kind of watch in something like that. Because obviously you only get about 2 steps to watch before you're done.
That's right.
But he's looking like he's coming out of it just fine. So, let's hope this is a good sign.
That's right. A couple of people commented in the chat. Andrew Hopper says he's from Charlotte, North Carolina. Tia Holloway, I was stationed in Virginia. Very cool. I'm from Virginia. I was stationed in Maryland and Texas, Arizona, New York, everywhere. Tony said, let's get that W this time. What's up, Tony? Checking in from Facebook. Tia says, Chase, looks good to me. Just needs to get out there. That could be it. He's just, needs to get out of his own way. Andrew Hopper, Chase is a beast. Yeah, we've seen him before. We talked about the numbers, and last year people complained about he didn't have sacks. Well, there were so many advanced metrics about Chase Young that aren't sacks. I'm talking about pressure gained on top of double team rates. I want to say he had one of the highest double team rates in the league. And there's another stat you always
The
throw out.
highest double and the highest triple team rates.
Yeah, there you go. Yam says his rookie year alone proved he wasn't bust. Defensive rookie of the year. That's right. We don't know if he can perform like that every season because, well, we just don't know. Not enough sample size in a very young career. Yeah, well said, Yam. That's the truth. That is the truth. Buddy Rogers from Facebook, thank you for tuning in. Said it's going to be a Manders win, 20-17. Taylor throws for one touchdown, runs the other one in. Scary Terry, catch, touchdown, extra point missed. Oh, so you're already calling out Joey Sly.
Don't put that on Sly. Sly was. When was the last time we had kicker as special teams player of the month? Come on now.
I know.
Put some respect on Sly's biceps.
But I am already logging your prediction, Buddy Roger, because that's what we do on Command is we log predictions.
Is that the Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers?
I don't know.
See, those of you who are old school wrestling fans know who I'm talking about. Before Ric Flair, the Nature Boy was Buddy Rogers.
See, then I have no idea who that is.
We're going back into the 60s, dude.
Marcus Edlin, thank you for joining us, bro. Says, what's up, family? Go check out Marcus's Facebook group called Sports View 2. Marcus is always out sharing the love, always in the
and he is constantly churning out news reports and content from like all over the sports spectrum.
Yeah, for sure. All things, good things. Yam says, same Phil. I will use a cane all day. Cane over crutches. Matt Carey says, it's FedEx. I would be worried about putting him out. Well,
not this year.
Yeah, they have completely redone the surface. Previous years, I would agree with you. I think there's statistics that show was it the 15-yard line on if it's the entrance with the locker room in or the other end, but that's took a bunch of ACLs. RG3, Alex Smith.
Yeah, but it did not. I'm telling you, that turf, you see it. When we went, Steve and I have been to FedEx 3 times this year. That turf looks different, and you can tell they restarted that field. Because it looks, the old field they would do their best, but by the first quarter, it looked like a sand lot. It doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah, so. It looks good, and then there hasn't been the concerts on the bye week. There was nothing on the bye week that I'm tracking. Usually they put on a concert in previous years, and so it always messes up the grass somehow, and they didn't do that this year, which is, we all appreciate it. Thank you. Yim says John Kime, his shows have become some of my favorites. Dude takes notes on everything. Sure does. Definitely better than Sheehan. But I like listening to Sheehan live. I like listening to Sheehan live on the road. He has some good.
Sheehan's good. I like Sheehan a lot, actually. Yeah. His is one of the podcasts I listen to. The only time I don't listen to Sheehan is if I know that he's got Tom Lavero on or if he's got Jay Gruden on. All right.
You see, I like the Jay Gruden interviews.
Jay Gruden can eat the peanuts out of my toe.
I like the Jay Gruden interviews. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't like him as a coach.
Because here's the thing. This is the one thing I don't like about Sheehan. Sheehan, before the season started, now they talk about how I didn't like the Wentz trade, blah, 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 blah. But before the season, I remember specifically talking about, we have a chance to have a really dynamic offense with Carson Wentz throwing the ball and Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown. We have a chance to have a real dynamic passing game and maybe one of the better ones in the NFC. Like he was talking about that. The minute he started having Jay Gruden on as a guest, suddenly everything sucks.
Completely opposite. Catering to his crowd, I guess. I'm sorry. Matt Coe says biggest game of the decade for us. Well, if you say decade, I would say no because. So I went to every game in 2012. That was the RG3 season.
Different decade.
Different. I'm sorry. Well,
it was a decade ago.
I was just saying
20s.
10 years.
20s.
Okay. I was going back a decade. You're saying the 20. Yes, absolutely. What other game you could argue the Tampa game in the playoffs where, Taylor dove, but the
Pittsburgh game
where they were like 12-1 or something.
They were 11-0 and then they faced us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
This is up there.
this is probably it. This is probably gonna be the biggest test to see if winning and it truly will bring fans back.
Yeah, I agree. And it's going to be about 35 to 38 degrees in
But clear.
FedExField, clear, sunny skies. We're also talking about having a white Christmas this year too, so look out! Look out for that.
Listen, suburbanites of the DMV. I know that anything that causes mild discomfort pushes you back into your homes real quick. Do not let it happen for this game. Show up, show out, support the team.
Show your
This
ass.
this is when you can prove that you can be a good fan base.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody says, I don't want to go support them because they suck. I don't want to support them because of Dan Snyder. Well, guess what? We got news this week. They are moving forward with putting out the appraisal and everything else
The
to
prospectus. The prospectus.
the prospectus to the prospective buyers, right? So we know there are prospective buyers. All right. So be happy about that. Don't do the whole sell the team chance at the game. It's not about Dan Snyder. It is about the Washington Commanders. It is about the team that you're rooting for, trying to get into the playoffs. And this is the biggest game this season.
Prime time, 8:20 Sunday night. Let's go.
When the last, I mean, come on. This team's about to have a chance to have its best record since, when was the last time we were 8-5?
Got me. I mean, we were 6-3 before Alex went down the first time that year, but 6-3, right? I think we were 6-3.
Well, we were going to lose that game, so let's say 6-4.
6-4. So Matt Carey said, worried about the chemistry, would rather see him worked in gradually. I think he will be worked in gradually. If he gets his 10 to 15 snaps, I think that's as gradual as you can get it. But don't put him in coverage, Shaq. Just don't do it. Yam says, also born and raised in the Fredericksburg region, but I've lived all over Virginia and all over the world. Yam's already pushing out 2017. I'm assuming Washington, Yam. I don't have to confirm that. Matt also says, don't say that about Joey Bulky Sly. I love Joey Sly. Love him. Then we got Marcus jumping up. All right. Hold your predictions to the end because we are going to revisit those. But I got Marcus at 24-17. After all
24-17, good guys.
Yep. Aunt D from YouTube. Evening, gents. What's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in from the YouTube. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, we are available on anywhere your audio podcast platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Odyssey, anywhere you can find your your audio podcast, you can find this podcast that we're doing live right now. So please hit it on the audio tip if you like to listen to those sort of things. Tia says, I have a question. What is Ryan Kerrigan's coaching position? I posted a Twitter poll the other day from the Command This handle, and I asked that question. What is Ryan Kerrigan's impact on the defensive line this year? So, Tia, just to be interested, he is the assistant defensive line coach behind Mr. Incredible Jeff Zaganina. Zaganina. I don't know how to say it. But I don't know. What do you guys think he has an impact? He's made an impact?
I think so. Most of these guys on this defensive line know him. They played with him in 2020.
And John Allen has already said once he might not be getting like technique from Ryan, but he's getting how to be a professional, how to prepare for games, how to take care of your body, how to do the proper nutrition. And that's huge. Like that's a veteran move right there. And hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Because John Allen's just talented as it comes, but Ryan wasn't the most finesseful edge rusher, as we all know. But the dude was he was a consummate professional in all aspects. And John Allen said that's what he's.
And he's a guy who never missed games until his next to last season.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan Kerrigan has always been someone who was well prepared, sturdy, took care of his body, took care of his mind. He was never mentally out of the game. And I think that there's something to that, to teaching a young team, a young line, how to do this.
Yeah. Yam said grass dirt's different than turf. Going back to the turf question, Matt Carey said teams are moving away from synthetic turf. Yeah, we have Bermuda grass. Bermuda grass doesn't do well. I want to say sub freezing temps, but we'll see. We haven't really had that many sub freezing temps till just recently, so the grass is probably still in pretty good condition. Monty, our boy Monty, checking in. We gonna win. What's up, fellas? Thanks for tuning in, Monty. Always a pleasure when you jump on and talk with us. Yam says Sheehan's problem is he's so opinionated and just wants people to agree and poo-poo on players. Personal. He doesn't like you. You can't tell him different. There's always a he can be good, but I kind of felt that way. No, I'm not going to bring it up. We'll say that for another conversation. Carrie says Jay Gruden's a good coach. His defensive corners, well, not so much. Sheehan ain't a 106.7 host. I don't know. I think Jay Gruden should have just stayed offensive coordinator. He was good at it. Head coach, leader of men. Not so
He's
much.
not a leader, man.
Not
Club
a leader.
J.
Not
We
a
all
leader
heard about
of men.
Club J from DJ Swearinger.
Yes, DJ broke the real truth, and when he got called out, they see ya. Monty says Wingy will bring fans back. Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to show out this weekend. I think a couple guys were looking at the ticket sales already, and even on the Giants side, surprisingly, it's not all sold out. And usually the Giants travel pretty well to FedExField. So with that being said, if you can make it, tickets are still out there, reasonably priced. The Metro is opening an extra hour, which,
and the team is paying for it.
Which is how it always should be. It should never be a question.
Don't tell me this front office hasn't been changed under Jason Wright.
It's beautiful.
That's a Jason Wright call. All right. They are paying.
Bruce would never.
Bruce would never.
Jason
Dan
Wright's
would never. Like, nah, we're keeping this. We're keeping that Metro open an extra hour. We will pay for it.
Matt says biggest FedEx game either since the Seattle playoff game or the Green Bay playoff game. Yeah, these are huge games. I mean, this game coming up will, because right now we're still in the 60, but this game will project us forward for the rest of the year. I think we can all agree with that.
This is I mean, those were bigger games because they're playoff games. The most hype we've seen a crowd. Probably either the 05 or 07 games against Dallas, because both of those meant a lot towards us. Well, one was for us to get into playoffs in 07. The one in 2005 was what catapulted us from, hey, we're back in the playoff hunt, to, oh, crap, we could make the playoffs. I remember that was, and that one in 05 is the famous Chris Cooley 3-touchdown game. That was one where he really just made it known that, hey, Cooley's going to be great, when he caught 3 touchdowns in the first half against Dallas.
Nice. Matt Carey said Dan Snyder selling his wife showed up to the Atlanta game in the rain. I think a lot of people did. We took it to him, though. You know what? You guys heard that Desmond Ridder's been declared a starter. Marcus Mariota has left the team until he just left the team. I think he's salty about losing his starting position, but hey, no worries. No worries. Monty didn't know Ryan was a coach until last week. Well, Monty, I'm glad you know now. I'm glad that he's part of the team and they're keeping that culture, that connection to history with him. So we got Robert Tate with a 30-14 prediction. I'm logging that, Rod. Robert, you said 30-14 Washington. That's a big score. That's 44 points. I can dig it. We still haven't got the predictions officially. Matt said, will we be going max protect on Sunday night on offense? Thibodeau kicked our ass. I think we will see a lot more. Well, 2 tight end and 3 tight end sets.
Here's the thing. We went max protect a lot in the first game. That's the thing people don't realize. We were basically banking on 3 receivers beating their defense on all plays. We went max protect a lot. Go back and watch. There's a lot of just 2- and 3-man routes, right? And they were still getting through. Now, granted, our line was kind of Swiss cheese due to injury. So, and Logan Thomas had a really bad game.
Yes,
blocking on the edge. And then when Tyler Larson went out, suddenly now you have an issue with Nick Martin's not calling the right protections at the line. It's either Nick Martin or Heineke. So whoever's in charge of making those protection calls did not do the right job, and that's how Heineke got hit on the 1-yard line in overtime and nearly lost us the game.
I hope West does better.
I don't know if that was Heineke's call or if it's Nick Martin's call in that regard, because I don't know who's making those calls on offense on outside protection. All right, because again, when it's Larson there, I know it's Larson. I don't know if Nick Martin's given that kind of responsibility because he doesn't know the offense as well, doesn't know the protections as well. He was brought in, week 4, week 5. So I don't know whose call that is. whoever's call it was, they did not tell Charles Leno block outside.
Yeah, straight up. Real quick, Matt Carey says Dallas 2012 was pretty hype. I was there, bro. My wife and I. That was for the division. We finished 10-6 after that not so good start, and Romo threw that interception at the last drive, and everything we were looking great. That was a great game. The funnest game I ever went to. We were screaming RG3's name from the rafters. The band after the game was playing Go-Go in the rafters. Then that kind of goes to Yam's comment. I really hope there's a parade with Go-Go music and everything when the sale goes through. And then he goes, when do we ever score 30 points? That's a good point. The Philly game, 32 points, kind of a fluke. With the last second heroics,
Casey Hill falls into the end zone for 6.
So for the audio crowd catching this on the replay, let's go over the injury report real quick. So Sadiq Charles did not practice with the concussion. Gibson, Norwell, Robinson, St. Juice, Chase Young were all limited on Thursday. I haven't seen Friday's report yet. Full practice, Sam Cosmi, Dax Milne, Jamin Davis, James Smith-Williams, Montez Sweat, and Trey Turner were all full practice. So we got some good news so far. This is a good lineup. Now let's look at the Giants, and then we'll go to some even better news. So they had a bunch of did not practices. I'll read those now. Josh Ezeudu, offensive line. Adoree Jackson, cornerback. Shane Lemieux did not practice. Nick McLeod, DB, and Ellerson Smith, linebacker, did not practice. So Adoree Jackson is out
again.
Sunday. He is out. That's official. That's according to Adam Schefter. He is out for the game. That's a huge loss for the Giants and that trying to cover our wide receivers. I just hope we can take advantage of it. Limited in practice, we had Daniel Bellinger, their tight end. He took a big hit against that Dallas game. Richie James, wide receiver. Jihad Ward, linebacker. Concussion, limited. Leonard Williams, limited as well. Hopefully he doesn't play, but he probably will.
I'm hearing Williams will play.
Okay, that's a tough one. He's a very good defensive lineman. Dexter Lawrence on the D-line was resting. Julian Love, DB, resting. And Micah McFadden, linebacker, neck and ankle, was also resting. So that's the injury report as of Thursday. Pay attention. Go check it out Friday. See if anything else comes up. Matt Carey says, what do you think about Schweitzer coming to be center? I love Wes Schweitzer. I really do.
I'm big. Y'all know I'm a huge Wes Schweitzer fan. Not so much as at center. I like him more at guard, but I like him because he plays mean.
Yeah.
He plays mean. He plays. I mean, I've seen that guy just, he practices hard. I like guys like that, especially on the line. Like, I get it when skill position players kind of, do the superstar thing and they're all kind of loose and slouchy and cool. When your offensive linemen come up and they're just like, they're ready to rip heads off, even if they're ripping heads off of blocking dummies. I love that. And Wes Schweitzer's that guy. Like he would George the Animal Steel eat blocking dummies if you let him. I love that. So all about anybody who's got that kind of mindset and attitude.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Matt says Leonard Williams Jackson out will be huge if Leonard Williams is out, but we just don't know for sure.
It's looking like he's going to play, so that's going to be a plus for the Giants. But Adoree Jackson out. They're still going to be running practice squad guys at corner.
Yeah. Another funny thing. So the team's doing well as we move into a playoff type atmosphere in the DC area. You're starting to see, at least in this area, I wear my gear every day in some way, shape, or form. People are coming up, hey, we're gonna win today. I was at the store today, grocery store. Hey, we're gonna win today. This lady came up to me. I haven't seen that in a long time. It just feels a little bit different and it feels good. And the team, social media, they came out with the cool little thing on Twitter. If you can get your hands on it, I'm gonna share it right here for the video, for the visual crowd. It says, we want to respectfully ask your permission. This is to your boss, and if you can give it to them, for fill in the names. Late arrival on Monday. We're hosting a huge divisional game against the Giants on Sunday that will bring a lot of adrenaline and attention to the DMV. Anticipation has been building for 2 weeks. Playoff stakes are high and it will take place on the primetime stage with kickoff at 8:20 p.m. All that said, we're thinking it could be a long night. Lots of fans go to the stadium listening on Big 100 and watching on TV, might have a hard time getting to sleep. Some wiggle room to start the work week would be much appreciated, and any slack will surely be picked up right after all of our heart rates normalize on Monday around lunchtime. Thank you in advance. Hail to the Commanders. I think that's pretty cool.
Signed by Ron Rivera and Jason Wright.
Yeah, Jason Wright and Ron Rivera. That's what's up. That's a pretty cool gesture. I like that. I already sent that to my boss earlier. Good stuff. Matt says, I always wear my gear all day, every day. That's right. You got it represented. Tia says, St. Juice is back. Please forgive me if I spelled his name wrong. Yep, he's back. He's practicing. So, I mean, we don't have the official game status clearly for Sunday, but all signs are pointing to yes. He's been limited. That ankle seems like it's doing better. We thought we were going to see him last week too, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
right?
last game
Maybe.
he was out. We knew that, but St. Juice, it was like maybe, but probably not. He's had 2 weeks to heal up. St. Juice will be back though.
Yeah, St. Juice will be back. Okay, let's talk a little bit. Commanders win if, put it in the chat. What the Commanders win if what? So Phil, Commanders win if
80 plays.
80 plays.
That's the goal. You want 80 plays. If you run 80 plays on offense, you will win the game. We ran 80 plays through overtime last time, but you want to dominate the clock so much, you get 80 plays. So that's kind of my go-to for this week. 80 plays. If you can get 80 plays off on offense, you're winning this game.
And even last time, we had 41 minutes, 11 seconds time of possession to their 28 minutes and 49 seconds. In theory, you think that would be lopsided, but it wasn't. We left so many points on the board last game.
Exactly. That's why I said that we didn't play our best game. They did, and it was a tie.
Yeah. Very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. So Commanders win if, to me, very similar. It's not rocket science, my answer. It's going to be the big no duh, but just continue to run the ball, but more importantly, make Daniel Jones one-dimensional. Okay, make him one-dimensional. I would say make him beat you with his arm. We already know the dude can run. He gets 70 plus yards every time. I think it averages 77. I threw that number out. He beat us up last time. He gashed us up pretty good. A couple long runs. That's just what he does. So make him one-dimensional. Make him beat you with his arm. They don't have good receivers. Slayton's okay. Their tight end is banged up. He's hurting. So there's no reason that, watch Barkley, watch Slayton. You don't have to worry about too much. I mean, we had a couple gimmies in the, for that, what's his name? Isaiah Hodgins touchdown in the corner. That was just bad coverage, but make Daniel Jones beat you with his arm. He threw for 200 yards last time. Stick to that. Saquon Barkley didn't do much. He had 63 yards. Nothing. We kept him in check. So, all right, let's see what some of you guys say.
Cover Darius Slayton. That's the other one.
Cover Darius Slayton.
But with St. Juice back, that does make it a lot easier.
Yeah. Matt says run for 180 yards and 230 yards passing. I love it.
410 yards of offense.
Love it.
That will win games.
Love it. During the last game, that was very similar. We had 411 total yards, 246 passing yards, and then we also had, I can't do my math, 165 rushing yards. So that's very close. The formula is there, and that equaled 41 minutes of time of possession. So, Matt, I think we feel you. Monty says, run the ball down their throat. Use split backs with option to throw to either of them or hand the ball off to either. Yeah.
I love the fact that the split back offense is starting to slowly find a way into the modern game, especially when we have we can rotate 4 different backs in there. Yeah. You can do split back with any combination, and it's a threat.
Yep. Tony says, at my daughter's school and activities, I see more kids rock Commanders gear than usual. I send my kids around in Commanders gear. When they have dress down day at school, my 4, 6, and 8-year-old, they're all wearing Commanders gear.
I love hearing that.
Doing it. Yeah, it's nice. And because now you're starting to see it available at Target, Kohl's, Marshalls, all the places you could always find Redskins gear at. You're starting to see Commanders gear at those places now. So it's kind of cool. Matt says Jones has some good passing yards. He had some pretty decent plays, but like I said, I would still say make him beat you with his arm. That's his weakness. Monty also says a lot of screens and play action to wide receivers and tight ends in the middle. Yep. Co from YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Commanders win with the same time of possession from last game, but capitalize on long drive. No empty possessions. That is correct. And just for the repeat, 41 minutes, 11 seconds. We had the ball. 28 minutes, 49 seconds last game for the Giants. That should have been a W for Washington.
The Giants will self-destruct if we show them the way.
Let's show them the way on Sunday night.
Show them the way.
Show them the way. Tia says we will win if we clean up our plays more. Yeah. There's some more time of possession. I don't know how much more time of possession we can get. I mean, the Philly game, I'd have to go back and look at the Philly game. I don't remember that one, but that one was pretty lopsided too. The time of possession.
41 minutes in regulation that game.
Yeah. Matt says, I hope Robinson and Gibson are going to be healthy enough to go.
Both are dealing with injuries, but what's nice is that because we have so much depth, you don't have to lean on just one. You can take the load off of one or the other. I mean, instead of going 20-some carries and you can go 15 to Robinson, 10 to Gibson, 7 or 8 to Jonathan Williams. Hell, get McKissick in there and get 5 or 6 to him. You can spread it around easily.
Yep. Corey Lott, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in, man. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. I hope you and your family are doing well. Yam says, no more 15-foot high passes. Let your wide receivers compete for the ball. Yes. Don't sail. Sail away.
Sail!
Sail away. And Dev and I will say it. And yes, you say your sail. We say our sail. Matt Carey says 2 turnovers also. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Marcus also said, I hope Washington uses the 49ers game plan to run the ball and defense. You can't go wrong with it. Run defense. The Philadelphia game plan can work against this team. We just gotta convert better. We converted so much better in the Philadelphia game.
3 of 14 on. Well, here's the thing. You gotta stay out of 3rd and long. We averaged like 2 yards to go on 3rd down against Philly.
Easy to convert.
We averaged 9 yards to go on 3rd down against the Giants. That's your problem.
Yep. All right, let's move into some predictions. Tony says, what better stage for Chase to come back than in this game and in prime time? Amen. You said it, bro. So what I'm going to do right now, we talked about this before we do the predictions. I do want to at least display what the actual odds are before we go into predictions. But we do have a couple of predictions already from you guys. I'll go ahead and read what I have. I have Buddy Rogers from Facebook. He's given 2017 to Washington. Yam in Japan, 2017 Washington also. Then we got Marcus Edlin, give us 24-17 Washington. Robert Tate, 30-14 Washington. That's a big score. So officially, they're saying right now the spread is Washington favored by -4.5. So you get the 3 points at home, it's -1.5. So I thought we'd be a little more favored than that, but that's where it stands. And then the over-under right now, 40.5. So 40.5. So that's not a very high score.
Same as last game.
Same as last game. It was, what was the final score? 28,
2020.
I'm sorry, 2020. So 40 right on the dot. So
yeah. And then last game, the over-under was 40.5.
Yeah. Matt Carey, you're giving us 24-20. All right. I'm logging all these predictions, ladies and gentlemen. 24-20. You're hitting with the over, which is cool. So far, we have no one predicting the G-Men walking away with victory. Matt Carey, sale passes are a result of poor footwork, but probably bad pass pro. Both?
It's the footwork, especially because Taylor loves that back foot throw, and that's what causes that a lot. He does not step up. When he steps up and drives the ball, like he can throw a good intermediate throw. But he loves the back foot. I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with the sidearm motion. I don't know because I don't throw sidearm. But I mean, yeah, but that's always been a complaint with Taylor. Has been his footwork and his his throwing motion are just shit. But when you've been doing it for so long, you're not going to drastically change it now. But he's just got to stop the back foot stuff.
It's the happy feet.
If he's got the ability, if he's got room to step up and put some drive in the ball, he can keep that ball low, put a little more power behind it, which he needs, and he can make some of those passes. But it's the back foot throws that cause those sails, cause those balls to bloop.
Stop slapping. He loves to slap the ball. That's okay. Matt Carey has
look. I mean, it's not like Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday didn't tell Willie Beeman, stop patting the ball before you throw.
Not patting the ball. It's a dead giveaway. Matt Carey has 24-20 Washington. That is a popular pick tonight. We're going to recap this in a second. Monty has us at 24-14. 28-14. Going with the over. Okay, I see you. With the old 42. Co 28-20 Commanders. Another over 48. Scary Terry has a big night. Tony Shivers has us at 23-13. That's a fair score. 23-13 Washington. So far no one has picked the Giants to win, and that's okay. But we do have everyone's pretty close. We have two 20-17s. 24 seems to be. So Phil, what's your pick?
Well, I've been bouncing around this one for the last couple hours in my head, actually. I'm going to say 26-17. Good guys.
Ooh, okay. 26-17 Washington.
I want us to win by 2 scores. That's the closest you can get to a 1-score game and make it a 2-score. And I just feel like that this is going to be the game. We're not going to blow anybody out. There's going to be there's no 40-14 wins in our future. But
we're not built that way.
26-17.
That's fair.
26-17. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going 23-17. I think we hit the under, and I think the Giants cover that 4.5 points. But we walk away with the W.
That's not covering.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We will not cover.
Washington covers.
Washington does not cover. They don't cover the 4.5 points.
If you have them winning by 6.
I do. Oh man, what am I doing? My math is totally wrong. Yes, we're good. We cover. I couldn't even read my own typing. I have 23-17. For some reason, I was looking in my head. I was like 23-19. No, 23-17. Yes, we cover. We're good. But I still think it's the under of 40, not hitting 40.5. So Matt says, who is the MVP of the team this year? Offense and defense. Good question. Offense, I'll say it has to be Terry McLaurin.
Right now, it's Terry. By the end of the season, if we keep going the way we're going, you might have to give it to Brian Robinson.
Yeah, agree.
If the season ends now, I'm edging it to Terry.
Yeah. Defense, we can probably this could be this. I think we're probably both torn between 2 people.
Yep, and
we probably stand about 6 inches from each other on the line. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them.
It's either John Allen or Deron Payne.
It's a pick 'em. That's right.
Co-MVPs.
So,
there we go.
We're thinking the same boat. So Terry right now, B-Rob, maybe by the end of the season, Terry and Allen, Deron and John on defense. I don't think you could argue with everyone, with anyone.
The Alabama wall for defense.
Alabama Slammers. Corey says, I think we get the over. So Corey thinks we're going to break the over at 40.5. Well, a few of you with your predictions. Buddy's under, Yam's under, Marcus is over, Robert Tate's over, Matt's over, Monty's over, Co is over, Tony is under with me, Phil's over, and I'm right under the 40.5. So we're about evenly split for the 40.5 points. Our boy Deuce in the house. Where's Dev? What's up, Deuce? Dev's family's under the weather, so they're just working through some things. Hopefully everything's fine.
Dev's taking care of everybody.
He is being a good father to his
good father, good boyfriend.
Boyfriend, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's taking care of family.
Taking care of the family.
That's right. So Deuce, put your score prediction in the chat while you're down there, brother. Thank you for tuning in. And go follow Deuce's channel on YouTube, Red Zone in the Lab.
Follow him on Twitter. Join all of his spaces.
Yeah, you guys enjoy talking to us, and we appreciate it. Jump in some of those spaces on Twitter, and you can interact and talk some smack to some Giants fans. And let me tell you, I don't get to talk a lot.
And they say some wild shit.
I don't get to talk, but I do get to listen from time to time. I can't really have my phone at work, not a lot of internet. But it's fun. It's fun to kick it in there. Co says, I think we'll get the over as well. Haven't been this rested healthy since week 1. It's a good time for a bye week. At first, when I saw it at the beginning of the season, I was like, man, the last bye week of the season. But no,
I was happy because I was like this because I kind of saw it playing out like this. Like it's gonna be right before the playoff push. I had penciled this in to be pushing for the wild card at 10 wins, maybe pushing for a division because I didn't see Philly doing this. And I thought, okay, perfect time because you get healthy right before that final stretch run. And so I was excited for it just because of the fact that I felt that if there's ever a time you want to have that extra week of rest, it's right before you make before you turn the season from a marathon to a sprint.
Yep.
All right. It's almost like you get to run this marathon, and in the last 2 miles, you get to stop and take a break, and then you can sprint. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Corey says offensive MVPs. Scary Terry and B Rob. Just same things we said. Also says defensive MVPs, Duran and John. That's right. You can't go wrong with either one of them.
Nope.
Matt asked a question. Will we be able to hold Barkley to under 100 yards? Yes. We did it last game up in the Meadowlands. He ran for 60.
We are built to stop a Saquon Barkley.
Yards. What did he run for? Saquon Barkley last game ran for 18 rushes, 63 yards, and a touchdown. And one of those was off a 21-yard run. And he had 5 receptions for 18 yards. So for all intents and purposes, we kept that dude in check, we
kept him under 100 yards combined.
We did, and that's huge because he's been tearing it up this year. He's been doing well coming off that ACL. Deuce 27-17, also hitting with the over with the score of 44 total. So I got you log Deuce 27-17. Matt Carey says need to stop Jones from scrambling. That's it. I'm telling you. I still think he's going to get his 70 yards rushing. He just finds a way.
I think he'll get like 35.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. Deuce also said Barkley -1 in the second half. That's right. I don't know if that's bad adjustments on their side or good adjustments on our side, but we had him in check pretty much the whole game.
Yep.
I think. Yam says, I still think a lot of this offense owes a bit to Antonio Gibson. He did set the tone for the beginning of the season. He isn't involved as much, but being both involved in running and passing, he's a true X factor at the moment. He absolutely is. And when I see them both in the game, it's fantastic.
I'd love to see him do that wheel slant route where he comes out the backfield on an angle, cuts up, and then cuts a slant right across the middle. We saw it in the preseason. It was one of Heineke's best passes of the preseason.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that pattern more. I love that because he thrived off the slant in college because he's got some good quickness and speed. He can make that slant cut and just blow right by a defender.
Sure can.
And over the middle, tough body, and you get him into open space. Spread the field out, get him going over the middle. It's just like throwing to a tight end.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. Corey Lott also says use Jamin or Curl as a quarterback spy. We could.
We definitely used Curl a lot more as a spy in the second half. That's when you saw Jones was bottled up a lot more on those run plays. Yep. He would get out the pocket, get past the line of scrimmage, but instead of getting 10, 12 yards, he's getting like 3 to 5.
And Matt says, Matt Carey, Gibson has played better since he lost his starting job. And you know what? Someone tell me how many fumbles Gibson has this year. Zippy. He's got zippy.
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know if that's coaching, if that's, I at the training camp I went to, Coach Jennifer King and her staff were just beating the living daylights out of these guys, just doing drills. It was amazing. I was surprised at how well they were holding on to the ball. So I don't know. It could be part of his growth too. His vision looks so much. Gibby's vision looks so much better too.
Both Robinson's vision has improved greatly over the course of the season too. So they're doing a bang up job with those two guys at running back, and even Jonathan Williams in his limited amount of time has shown an explosiveness through the hole that we just haven't seen. When they get him going up the middle, he hits that hole hard.
That's right. Yam and Matt, we're all over it. 0 fumbles. Gibson's doing his job. Andre Shorter. I know you're kind of jumping on here at the end, Andre, but happy you made it, bro. Good to see you on Facebook. When you get a chance, drop your prediction here in the bottom comments so we can log it and track everything, see who gets close enough. Nat also says one player not excited to see back. Dax Milne. He's the Troy Apke of 2020.
Steal your girl.
Yeah, I do like him from that respect. Him and Zach Wilson, doing their thing.
Especially because Zach Wilson's now out of a job.
They actually elevated him to backup quarterback behind Joe Flacco because Mike White is hurt. But before that, he had got relegated down to third string.
Necessity, not preference.
First round pick in his second year, gets demoted to third string, not even dressing. Now he's back up only because of injury. Matt Carey said, Jonathan Williams made us forget about Patterson. Yeah. And Patterson was a fan favorite too. Kentucky, right? Out of Kentucky? Buffalo, I'm sorry.
But a DeMatha graduate.
Yeah. Bringing back the roots. Him and Chase.
Like Chase Young.
That's right. Him and Chase. Man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, rap music. That is the rap music. We're going to wrap up this show on a Friday evening. And shout out to you guys for all tuning in on a Friday. Normally we do this on a Thursday, but we really appreciate it. Great chatter tonight. Andre finally hit us with a score. Washington 23, NYG 22. All right, man. I'm going to log you with
17.
that. 23.
He picked your score.
23. Okay, Andre. I'm good. I'm happy with that. Good call. So I also have 23-17. So not bad. Phil, you got any shout outs?
Shout out to everybody who showed up on Friday night.
Left hand up.
Left hand up to all y'all.
They are performing, by the way, in the Legends Plaza this Sunday at the game. If you're there, they will be performing left hand up. Goody will be there, and Vernon Davis will be also performing his single as well. If y'all know Vernon Davis, former tight end from the area, University of Maryland grad, also performing before the game. So if you are there,
these guys,
please take video.
There's anthem he put out there. Not as team centric, but it's very pro DC.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna hear some congos a little bit.
I mean, he filmed.
It's very Wale.
He did
very
film
Wale.
the video.
Yeah,
at FedEx and in DC. So
yeah. Appreciate it. Said nice chill show, guys. That's what we were shooting for. Just chill, relax, kick it on a Friday evening. Ease into the game on Sunday night. We'll have the live stream up in the Washington Football Addicts Facebook group. So if you're tuning in there, we'll see you guys there. And good luck at Class Yam. Hopefully, you'll get to check the game. I know you're not going to get it live or miss most of the game, but man, cheer hard. Matt says, how many penalties this week for us? Thank God that crew won't be there. So last game, we had 7 penalties, 55 yards. That killed us. And a lot of them were bogus
too.
Yeah, very, very, very bogus. But shout out to everyone who did tune in. Yam, Matt, Corey, thanks for tuning in. Andre came in later. Deuce popped in for a hot second. Tony, Monty, Marcus, always a pleasure. Tia, Co from Facebook. We had a couple more folks in here from YouTube. But yeah, thanks all for tuning in, man, and also from YouTube. This is fun. We'll do our post game recap on Monday, another live stream. So if you missed this one live, you can always catch it on the replay, and then we'll see you guys live on Monday. Phil, you got anything else?
All I gotta say, you know what? I'm gonna take this from you. We'll see you all Monday. Hail to the Commanders. And all I gotta close it out with is that infamous sentence. Peace and hail.
Let's go.